and decades, we know so very little about them.
Exactly.
One of the most important things, and we hope this habitat shares that as well, is to keep the ecosystems intact.
Alethea Gardner is a Grand Bahamian who's actually doing a master's degree at Savannah State University in Savannah, Georgia. And you're doing your thesis on land crabs. Give me the title of your thesis.
The population and the abundance of land crabs in relation to human population and habitat quality.
Okay, now why crabs, of all the things that you could study in marine science?
Well, it was a topic that I was given to come back home with. There are a lot of topics that they have at the school that they would want us to do, but I felt, being a Bahamian, I felt that I should come back home and work on something that I feel is very vital. And I've known that we're losing a lot of crabs, and it's very important to the economy as well as to the population that we need to figure out what we can do to keep our crab population up.
Exactly.
1, 2, 3, 4. When you want some entertainment, data show, data show. When you want some culture, data show, data show. Want to know what's happening, data show, data show. Grab your remote control, take a seat in your sofa. Get the people of this native show, yeah man. Get the people of this native show. TTL's Native Show.
Happy 44th anniversary to the ZNS from BTC.
Happy anniversary, ZNS.
Happy 44th anniversary to ZNS from Fort Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Happy 44th anniversary to ZNS.
Happy 44th anniversary, ZNS.
Wishing ZNS 44 years anniversary from KFC, Mackey Street. Happy anniversary.
Happy 44th anniversary to ZNS.
Happy 44th anniversary to the #1 broadcasting company in the Bahamas. I'd like to wish you all the best. God bless you and God bless the Bahamas.
Hi, we'd like to wish ZNS a happy 44th anniversary from Super Value, top of the hill, Mackey Street, the #1 station in the Bahamas.
Happy 44th anniversary to the biggest and best broadcasting corporation in the world. Zephyr, Nassau, Sunshine, ZNS.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the news, the Minister for Grand Bahama releasing a statement on the power company's request for a rate adjustment. And a local MP vying for the leadership post within the Free National Movement. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Shoshana Wolf-Arkeson. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news this evening, the Minister for Grand Bahama, Ginger Moxie, says that the government will not support an increase in electricity rates on Grand Bahama. This coming after the power company issued a statement announcing that they have applied to the regulator, the Grand Bahama Port Authority, for a rate adjustment. The Minister of Grand Bahama says it is the government's view that Grand Bahama can not sustain a price hike, and a special committee has been formed to address the matter. Jamila Mizik has more in this report.
The Ministry of Grand Bahama responding to the Grand Bahama Power Company's recent application to the Grand Bahama Port Authority for a rate adjustment. Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxie, in a statement noting that in response, the government has made immediate inquiries, expressed deep concern, and taken swift action. Moxie contends that the government has the statutory mandate to set the national energy policy, with the goal and objective of which shall be the creation of a regime for for the supply of safe, least cost, reliable, and environmentally sustainable electricity throughout the Bahamas. This statutory mandate includes aspects of social policy, including the scope of universal services and the protection of vulnerable customers, adding that the devastating effects of Hurricane Dorian and the COVID-19 pandemic on residents of Grand Bahama is a matter of deep concern to the government. The government has since constituted a cabinet committee comprising Attorney General Ryan Pinder, Ministers Obi Wilchcombe, Alfred Sayers, Dr. Michael Darville, and Ginger Moxie to review and address the matter and to ensure that the rights and interests of the residents of Grand Bahama are protected, consistent with the national energy policy. The statement adds that the government has since received further correspondence from GBPA, which explained the process and offered assurance that the application is just that, an application, which is required to be filed every 3 years and is a component of an established regulatory framework agreement between the two entities. Moxie confirming that GBPA has not given any approvals to GBPC to proceed with any adjustments to the power rates for Grand Bahama residents and will follow the established process, which dictates that before any approvals can be given, the rate plan must be published and GBPA will hold a public 45-day consultative process so that the voice of every Grand Bahamian resident can be heard, adding that the government will ensure that the objectives of the national energy policy are observed. Moxie says that while they understand that the filing is part of an established process, the government will not support any rate increase or any portion of the customer base on Grand Bahama Island at this time, as it is their firm position that the people of Grand Bahama should not be further burdened on the heels of the economic stagnation caused by Hurricanes Matthew and Dorian, which was compounded by the global pandemic. Now a meeting has been scheduled with GBPA and the Cabinet Committee in the next 2 weeks regarding the application, and Moxie says they will be very clear and direct with their message, adding that the people and businesses of Grand Bahama have suffered enough and that as a minister for Grand Bahama, she will remain resolute in her commitment to the growth and development of our island and our people. Jamila Mizik, ZNS Network News.
Thanks, Jamila. In other news, illegal dumping remains a nagging issue for some residents of Grand Bahama, particularly secluded and less populated areas. Tonight, one resident says that she has had enough and she's calling for those responsible to quit. Megan Shepard reports.
Frustrated and disgusted, two adjectives that describe the feelings of resident Iris Sweeting as it relates to the constant illegal dumping on her street. Sweeting says she lived in her home since 1999, and for years persons have been illegally dumping household appliances and food containers, which are not only an eyesore but also a potential health hazard.
I am tired of seeing it. And they feel like only one house through the corner, there's no one through here. But I have concern because I live through here, because all is creating rodents, rats, and just name it. And it is through here. It has increased rapidly, especially for the restaurant products. It has been increased. But the tubs even, they cut their yard, the trees, they bring it and dump it through here. It is disgusting. It's annoying. Let us do like the Bible said, cleanliness is next to godliness. And the pandemic, they ask us to be, if we never wash hands before, you're being encouraged to wash your hands regularly and keep your surrounding clean.
Sweeting says she has reported the issue to the relevant authorities.
I made mention to the police, but they pass through here every now and then when they're patrolling, but nothing has been done. So I called just the environmental health last week. They say they have to investigate, and it will take 2 weeks. And my last resort, I turned to the ZNS communication.
Sweeting is now calling for immediate action in the cleanup of her area and an end to the illegal dumping.
Clean, Miss Megan. Clean it. I want it clean. Please, the help or those who brought it through here, you brought it through here, come back and clean it up, carry it to sanitation service. It's a charge, but you don't have any free lunches, so therefore, pay for it. It's your dirt. I would like to see this clean like yesterday. I want it clean instantly, please. Because I drive through this corner. I live through this corner. So people will believe who pass through here that all this mess is coming from my place. It's not so.
Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
In news from the Crime Beat, police on Grand Bahama arresting a male for cultivation of marijuana. Yesterday, a team of officers from the Drug Enforcement Unit, acting on information, conducted a search of a house in McLeanstown where green plastic wrap containing a grassy-like substance suspected to be marijuana was found. Officers also followed a footpath from the residence where they discovered 33 flower pots with suspected marijuana plants ranging from 1 to 2 feet in height. As a result, an adult male was arrested and is assisting with the investigation. Now, the estimated street value is at $33,000. Meantime, over in Abaco, police discovering a quantity of suspected marijuana in Sandy Point. Sometime around 3 p.m. yesterday, a team of officers from the Marsh Harbor Police Station discovered a white crocus sack bag containing 3 brown taped packages suspected to be marijuana at the rear of a residence in Sandy Point. The drugs carry a street value of some $3,000. Police on Moores Island also locating a quantity of suspected marijuana. Police say a team of officers from the Moores Island Police Station conducting a routine search mobile patrol on the beach located at the rear of the Moores Island Airport. While there, officers discovered 1 brown taped package suspected to be marijuana. The estimated value is $5,000. Now, investigations are continuing. Well, after a crushing defeat at the polls, the Free National Movement is now preparing for a one-day convention on November 27th to elect a new leader for the party. Today, a former minister and member of parliament for Central Grand Bahama, Aram Lewis, on the party's 50th anniversary, has announced his plan to offer himself as leader. This will be the first convention the party has held since 2016, and he says his aim is to rebuild and reconnect the party's base.
I am F&M. I've been F&M all my life. I believe in the party. I believe in the principle. I get to know F&M. And where we veered off to, I believe we're a bit off course.
And this is why former Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture Aram Lewis says with careful consideration, he has made the decision to bid for the leadership post as the Free National Movement heads into a convention in November. Lewis first entered politics in 2012 as the Member of Parliament for Central Grand Bahama and was one of 7 within the party to retain his seat during the recent general election. He believes his success is his connection to the people and the empowerment of others.
Being a servant leader and believing in the people, getting people to believe in what I did, my initiatives, the initiative that I did with my team, staying on the ground, keeping in touch with individuals.
The F&M suffered a crushing defeat at the polls, and many have called for the current leader and former Prime Minister Hubert Minnis to step down. But Lewis says now that elections are over, he's had an opportunity to take a closer look at what needs to be done to move the F&M forward.
I don't see me as being responsible, sitting in the background and just letting it go over my head and say, well, I'm not the leader, so whatever happens, happen. No, it's time now to step up to the next level and assume the position of leadership to not only get the party back to where it was, but for us to grow the party. And having lost the last election, that would not even be my focus right now. Re-election would not be my focus. Getting the party back together, galvanizing our base. Help them to understand that they are included, they are part of.
There has been wide speculation as to whether or not Minnis will accept a nomination from the floor. But Lewis says even if he does, his intention is to put his name in the hat for the betterment of the party.
Well, to be quite pointed, when we had our first parliamentary caucus meeting, I did listen to the leader, the now leader, who requested that he stay on until convention in November. He asked that he enter Parliament as the leader of the opposition. He was mindful of the fact that we were going to take a lot of blows. He was willing to go in and defend his policies and to speak to all that we did without running away. He said there's no reason for him to duck and dodge. He's willing to go into Parliament as our leader. So I supported that up to the point of convention. So as far as I'm aware, he's not seeking re-election. As far as I'm aware, his word to me was that support me until November. And at such time, when we have the national convention, I will not seek leadership, and I will support whomever is elected as leader of the opposition. So I have no reason to think that he's going to go back on his word.
The Central Grand Bahama MP believes that in an effort to avoid any conflict, only those who were elected in the recent elections should contest the leadership post. Since the party's defeat, there have been 2 names that have been expressed as who should step forward as leader: Member of Parliament for Marco City, Michael Pintard, or MP for St. Barnabas, Shannon Don Cartwright. So the question is, has Lewis been overlooked?
And because I have not been pushing myself to the forefront, perhaps that may be a reason why. But I am here. I've been in F&M. We're about to celebrate our 50th anniversary. I am now 56 years old. I remember Mr. Maurice Moore coming to Waterkey from I was a little boy. My father was like his best friend. Mr. Moore stayed at our house. So I've been following him around basically all of my life. And I know what it is to be F&M.
And for those who are unfamiliar with Hiram Lewis, he boasts of running an aggressive backyard farming initiative, Grand Bahama Community Park on the Royal Oasis, where local farmers sold their products, the first smart park, rebuilding of the YMTA, among other projects. He says his life has been one of adversity and overcoming challenges.
Things in my life that happened that I believe was even worse than the defeat that we suffered on September 16. I lost my father, pretty much died in my arms. A few years later, my son was tragically killed in a traffic accident. Shortly after that, my adopted niece, my niece was like an adopted daughter, she died mysteriously. My mother passed away recently. My brother died mysteriously. He was my best friend.
And with 400 people set to vote at the F&M's convention, he says the response has been overwhelming.
The response has been good so far, and initially I've not been pushing myself. Persons who said, at this time we do need someone who can connect, someone who's relatable, someone who's not just pushing for power, just want to be in the podium. They're entering the race for the right reason.
Lewis, running under the banner Lewis for Leadership, is encouraging those who have voting privileges to do so with the future of the party in mind. Stay with us. We'll be back right after this.
Come on down now. Treat large and small generators, propane and butane stoves, LED flashlights, fuel canisters, coolers, batteries, gas and electric chainsaws, cooking supplies, tarps, matches, duct tape, and more.
Our Garden Farmers Market Fest is this Saturday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Grand Bahama Community Park at Princess. Vendors have a variety of items for sale. Get yours and support.
Becoming a BTC postpaid customer is fast and easy. And what's more, by signing up, the deals are instant. Tell us about some of the deals available for postpaid customers.
Well, we always have amazing deals available for our postpaid customers. We have up to 75% off any device that we carry. And you can also get up to $300 off of a phone if you're an existing customer. A new customer, you can get a free phone. And that's some of the amazing deals that we have at any of our major stores.
Let's talk again about switching over from prepaid to postpaid.
Okay, when you switch over from prepaid to postpaid with any carrier, you can keep your same number and you can come into a BTC store and your service will not be interrupted at all. Your friends and family won't even know that you made the switch.
And for new customers, what is the process like for them to become postpaid customers?
For a new customer, you just walk into the store, have a government-issued IDs, passport, driver's license, stuff like that. And once you do that, it'll be that simple. You could just visit one of our reps and they'll help you.
And tell us about some of the postpaid packages.
We have packages to suit any lifestyle and any budget. And whether you're homeschool, whether you have working from home, whatever it is, we have something here that will suit your budget.
So what are you waiting for? Visit any of our BTC locations and sign up and become a postpaid customer. It's fast, it's easy, and it's rewarding. These are still the moments that move us. I'm Corval Pyfrom. Be well, and be back here next BTC Connection.
Enroll today for the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture Job Ready program. 9 weeks of soft skills job readiness internship. Contact 351-6667 or 439-1339. Get ready with Job Ready.
The King of the North is back. Power 104.5 FM.
Your number one news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. The Sir Charles Haywood Library, which is located adjacent to the Rand Memorial Hospital, has undergone a series of closures in the wake of Hurricane Dorian, in addition to the global pandemic. The library opened its doors late last year, and officials are hoping that as the number of COVID-19 cases continue to drop, the library can return to full operation soon. Ramiko Knowles has more.
A pillar of the community, the Sir Charles Haywood Library was established in the 1960s by a group of residents interested in establishing a public library. Today, there are approximately 50,000 books in the library's collection, of which 9,000 are paperbacks. Executive Director Janitha Rutherford explaining how the operation continues to function amid a global pandemic.
We haven't been able as a library to do what we have been doing for years, which is have a very active calendar with the schools, from field trips to book signings to having small groups of children come in for authors to present a new book, to having schools that don't have a library bringing classes in here for introduction to the library and just for research. And then we used to have annual large groups of students for distinguished lectures.
And despite having a steady flow of persons utilizing the facility, Rutherford notes that she misses interacting with students through the relationships they've fostered with various schools.
I look forward to the day when we can get back to some level of normalcy, because as a public library, one of the things we want to do is be an adjunct to the school's programs. And we are in the process now of bringing in several hundred books. It may end up being maybe about 2,000 that new books that are needed, series for the children's library, and the readers in the adult library, they want what they want. So the librarian knows that. And so that's where we are right now in the process of replenishing the library.
Now the book collection is in a continual state of growth as a result of donations and new monthly book purchases. In fact, Rutherford says earlier this year, they received funding that allowed them to enroll all students in the public primary school in West Grand Bahama.
Martintown, Holmes Rock, Lewis Yard, some in Bartlett Hill. Every student in the school got a membership card. It was paid for the year. And the librarian, God bless her, and the clerk got books, boxed them up, and every class of students, as you know, because you did that first interview. That's something we're hoping against hope we can start back up again.
Currently, 4 persons are employed at the library, and they are looking forward with great optimism.
I really look forward to the day when this library can become a vibrant spot again.
Ramiko Knowles, ZNS Network News.
Members of the Falcons Boys Club can now lace up new sneakers thanks to a special donation from the Adventist Development Relief Agency. The donation is the latest in a series of goodwill gestures that has extended to sectors of the Grand Bahama community post-Dorian. Club Director Darren Rowell welcoming the latest donation, and he says that ADRA has taken particular interest in helping the young men enrolled in the Falcons Club.
Last Thursday, this group presented over 50 tennis and new brand Nike and Adidas and Puma shirts to the young boys that are part of the Falcons Boys Club. And that association came about several months ago as we hosted our summer league from the month of April up to now on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 5:30 to 7:30. The Falcons Boys Club hosts a junior league where young men come from all over the island of Grand Bahama to participate. And the young representative here from Grand Bahama found out what we were doing, and she contacted us and said to us that she would like to provide some sporting apparel for the young men.
Well, the Rand Memorial Hospital receiving a generous donation this week in memory of a former patient. Raymond and Lynn Dietz of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, USA, donated an oxygen concentrator to the Rand on Monday as a token of their appreciation for the care and excellent service provided by that facility to the late Olga Forbes, who passed away recently. The Dietzes, who are longtime recurring residents to Grand Bahama, described Ms. Forbes as a close family friend and said it was the least that they could do to show their appreciation to the staff and leadership of the Grand Bahama Health Services. Administrator Sharon Williams accepted the oxygen concentrator and expressed her profound thanks, stating that the instrument will be used for continuous treatment for the betterment of patients at the Rand Memorial Hospital. And that's a look at stories making news. Here's a check on what is happening in sports with Ramiko Knowles.
This is ZNS Total Sports, your source for sports in the north. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Topping sports activities slowly returning on the island of Abaco as scores of youngsters have signed up for the Coach Jimmy Green Memorial Basketball Camp, which began on October 18th for boys and girls ages 7 to 18. A former student of Tabernacle Baptist is the coach and instructor. It is a regular summer basketball camp held every year on the island of Abaco, but this year the camp is named in honor of Coach Jimmy Green, who is most known for his days with the Sandy Point Royals, a well-known basketball team throughout the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Jimmy Green was, a phenomenal father, devoted community member, mentor, role model, especially in the sports arena. He focused on the younger generation. He saw a future in us all, and he tried to educate us and teach us that with basketball, you can open and unlock a lot of doors.
Camp instructor Denaro Green says after Hurricane Dorian, there were no sporting activities taking place on the island, which is why the youngsters are excited to be tipping off once again.
Those boys, their spirits are highest. A few of them left to go to Nassau and Freeport to attend high school, but now most of them are back home, and we try our best to keep them preoccupied, try to steer them in the right direction, because it's so easy for them to get sidetracked, especially when we're not paying attention to our youths in our communities.
As for the state of sports on the island, he says,
right now the state of basketball in Abaco or sports on a whole, is little to none. A lot of the facilities were damaged, parks are missing rims, pavements are uprooted. So there's definitely a much needed attention as far as trying to get those stuff repaired so that kids can return back to the various track events or sports and field events that they normally attend to.
The camp instructor notes that they are eager to swing into high gear, as Abaco is known for producing world-class talent.
We've always produced profound athletes, whether it's track and field, basketball, baseball. We really have it all here, and it just needs some attention.
In WNBA action now, the Connecticut Suns forward and Grand Bahamian Jonquel Jones earned her first All-WNBA first-team honor as the only unanimous selection. Grand Bahama female basketball star Jonquel Jones receiving her final award for the 2021 WNBA season. Jones, who won her first WNBA MVP honor this season, was named the All-WNBA First Team on all 49 ballots in voting by a national panel of sports writers and broadcasters. It was the first time Jones received first-team honors. She was previously named to the second team twice. Jones averaged 19.4 points a game, 11.2 rebounds, 1.26 blocks, block shots and 1.26 steals this year to help the Sun to their second most successful regular season in franchise history. They finished with the highest winning percentage in franchise history, the fewest losses in franchise history with a 26-6 record, and had a franchise record 14-game winning streak, the fourth longest in the league history.
Great job, John Quill, and that is your check on sports. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Rico Knowles. Until next time, make it a great one.
Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, in partnership with the GB Resilience Center, presents The Unveil, a virtual youth month initiative tackling youth mental health issues. Friday, October 29th at 10 a.m. Let's talk about it and keep it real.
Third Dimension on Yellow Pine Street introduces its new home improvement center. Step into our brand new, fully stocked showroom for the latest in doors, tiles, housewares, kitchenwares, bathwares, vanities, power tools, electrical, and plumbing supplies. So stop by our showroom to view our full range of products or call the Home Advisor hotline at 602-0935 today. We are your home advisors.
Mother Nature has always been my inspiration. There's magic in every seashell and in the curve of every majestic tree. I design wearable arts. Jewelry should tell a story, your story. My clients love being able to choose their charms and boots, creating their own unique design. It's personal, so it's priceless. We all have our individual style. We are fearfully and wonderfully made. So why fit in when you're designed to stand out? I'm Tanisha Carey, your designer. Welcome to Baja Gala.
It's fall at the Dollar Plus store in downtown Freeport with bargains galore. Score great deals on Halloween costumes and supplies. We have snacks, gift bags, toys, and everything you need for parties and birthdays. And you know you can always find great prices on household items, cleaning products, health and beauty, and hair accessories. Visit Dollar Plus for these great deals and many more.
Are you tired, overweight, having trouble sticking to your health and fitness goals? Well, look no further. The Fitness Connection has teamed up with Z&S to bring you Health Bites. This and every Thursday, tune in, and we'll make sure you get on track and stay on track with your health and fitness goals. Tune in.
The King of the North is back. Power 104.5 FM.
Your number one news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Oh, this is my girl, Angela Roll. You are our Facebook friend of the night. That's OMG Couture. And also, I have to say a special happy birthday to my two sisters, Kadriana and Kaylisa Roll over there in Grand Key, and Sonia Roll. Hope you ladies are having a blast. And that's going to do it for us here in the North on behalf of our entire Z&S News team. I'm Shashina Roll Farquharson. The Bahamas Tonight continues.
Coming up in the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, a much-touted housing project under intense review. What regional health experts make of face-to-face learning. Double-digit COVID cases strike another southern island. And Z&S marks 44 years. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, starts now.
This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC Super Fast Internet for Less. Best rate, no debate. Sign up today.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Akush Lopinder, and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Well, not the kind of news applicants of the Prospect Ridge housing development had hoped to hear, but it's what the housing minister delivered during a briefing this morning. Literally, no work was conducted or recorded on the highly anticipated project. With the details, we turn now to our caller, Palmer.
Minister of Transport and Housing, the Honourable JoBeth Colby Davis, intimated that the former government's proposed Prospect Ridge development was nothing more than a pie-in-the-sky dream. Having done her due diligence since taking office over a month ago, the housing minister says little, if anything, was done concrete to advance the housing development scheme, contrary to what Bahamians were told by former Prime Minister, the Most Honourable Dr. Hubert Minnis.
We have had a number of meetings related to this project with my technical team, and they also went out to do a site visit for me to determine where we are and how we could respond to the demands that presently exist and all of the applications that we presently have. Unfortunately, there's a lot of groundwork that must be done that has yet to be started as it pertains to that project work related to a master plan. I've spoken to the company that was previously engaged by the former administration, and absolutely nothing has been done yet. In fact, they got a letter advising them that they were awarded this project probably about 2 or 3 days before the election. So nothing has been done in terms of creating a master plan to do the work at Prospect Ridge to begin to draw out how it will actually look. What I will say is the fact that you have a billboard that has a photo, but you have no master plan. One wants to know where that photo came from. So did they grab it off of Google? I don't know. But we have no master plan, which will actually provide you with the completed look of the subdivision. And the fact that that doesn't exist means I don't understand where the numbers came from for the land cost and where the pictures came from.
In the absence of surveys conducted, Minister Colby Davis says cost analysis cannot be determined at this time.
There's been no feasibility study and no topography study to actually provide us with the lay of the land, what lumps and bumps presently exist, and how we would have to fill it in. And so we are not in a position yet to determine the infrastructural cost. We think it will be great, but that is yet to be determined because we'll get all that information from the feasibility and the topography study.
With a lot of groundwork to be done, the housing minister commits herself to getting the process right.
My technical team is building itself up so that we can provide the right information to Cabinet and to the Bahamian public so we're able to produce if we can actually go forward with the project, which we are hoping and we're confident that we'll be able to do this development, but it may not be in the time that originally was provided because we want to be sure that these studies are completed and we have enough information to determine cost and timing for the Bahamian public. So no actual progress. We're beginning to get bids in to get those studies completed.
While it is possible that a reclassification of applicants may have to be conducted once the feasibility, topography, and additional infrastructural costs are calculated, Minister Colby Davis is already considering an alternative.
If you're unable to go into the Prospect Ridge because of the cost, and you may not be approved for that, I still want to offer you an option that is probably Carmichael or another subdivision.
The housing minister says she has visited the Carmichael Village subdivision with her technical team and is confident that they can get this project back on track and in a very short time begin constructing homes.
So we're actually excited, and in the next week, my technical team will be meeting with various contractors so that we can determine where we are and how we're placed with Carmichael Village and the timeline of us getting started with some construction because we've had a lot of infrastructural work there. We've looked at the road height, and we understand that there will be additional costs as relates to foundation in filling in. We have to fill in a lot of areas.
Minister Colby Davis says the government will be restructuring its policy regarding all of its subdivisions in the country moving forward. She maintains affordable housing will be provided those who need it most. Carla Palmer, ZNS Network News.
Meanwhile, the Davis administration is looking to bring 3 pieces of legislation before the end of the year. Press Secretary Clint Watson disclosing during the first media briefing this morning that these bills speak to the proposed reduction in value-added tax from 12% to 10%, an increase in pension, and a merchant shipping act.
While working towards its substantive legislative agenda and policy priorities, the government will be completing board appointments for all 140 boards by next week, Wednesday. Cabinet has been very active and busy going through that work. The government has also given a 90-day notice to overseas appointees to allow sufficient time for the winding up of ongoing affairs. As a gesture of good faith in the interest of political maturity, and government continuity.
Now, Watson also sharing that in terms of the government's focus areas, this includes effectively addressing the COVID-19 pandemic, strengthening healthcare facilities, stabilizing the economy, and focusing on climate change. The press secretary also spoke to that investigation into Bahamas Power and Light's former board, led by then-chair Darnell Osborne.
We've not heard from that report. We can confirm today that a report was done by a foreign company. The name of that company we're going to release to you as well. And I think you may be happy to know that we do have this report in hand. It is a very interesting read. And of course, it's now been sent to the minister responsible for BPL, the Minister of Works, the Honorable Alfred Sayers, for his review on it. It's interesting.
Foreign direct investment, a top priority item on the government's agenda. In fact, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, the Honorable Chester Cooper, says a special cabinet meeting has been scheduled for Monday, October 25th to begin the processing and approval of investments. This as interest remains high from the international community to invest in the Bahamas.
We have a very pristine environment. There are significant opportunities in our country. I've said to all of the investors that our government is business friendly and investment focused. And with this in mind, we are going to see how we can expedite the approval process. One of the things we foreshadowed in the speech from the throne is the development of Bahamas Invest, which is going to be a more streamlined process of processing investments using technology, having specific guidelines in terms of timelines for responses.
The Deputy Prime Minister added that a compliance unit will also deal with investments.
We are going to really follow the heads of agreement of projects already approved to ensure that they are in full compliance with the terms that's been agreed. So this is an area of significant focus. We recognize that the fastest way to grow our country is through foreign direct investments, and therefore we are keenly focused on seeing how we can advance projects in the pipeline and attract new ones.
In other news, Foreign Affairs Minister, the Honorable Fred Mitchell, says efforts are underway to get Bahamians stuck in Haiti back home. This following that travel ban the previous administration implemented last year.
There are Bahamians who've been stuck in Haiti since February, and they need to come home. And I think we have to actively work on trying to change that to go back to the status quo ante. In terms of the embassy is open again. The latest information I have, we had a team from the Defense Force go in advance to see the security situation. Appears to be okay, but it's watched all the time, and we'll do everything we can to be sure that they're safe, and if there's any problem, we'll pull them out.
Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis left for Washington, D.C. yesterday to join his wife, who's participating in the 10th anniversary of the Martin Luther King Memorial, which takes place today and tomorrow. The memorial is the 5th most visited in Washington, D.C. Other invited guests include U.S. President Joseph Biden, Vice President Kamala Harris, cabinet secretaries, and members of Congress. Prime Minister Davis is expected back in the Capitol on Friday. Well, before leaving the country, Mrs. Anne Marie Davis on Monday paid a courtesy call on Foreign Affairs Minister Fred Mitchell and senior officers. While there, she also viewed the facilities of the Office of the Spouse of the Prime Minister. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Stay with us.
And remember to tune in to the morning edition with LaDawn Davis and Charles Fisher at 7 o'clock weekday mornings. We also have news updates at every hour starting at 2 p.m. You can then watch the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, at 6:30 and the National Report live at 7 p.m. All right here on the ZNS Network.
This portion of the news was brought to you by Sun Oil Limited Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
A lot has changed over the past 60 years, but at Commonwealth Bank, our mission to build lifelong relationships with our clients remains the same. customers are more than just a number. Our customers are our family, and together we create banking solutions that fit your unique needs. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
KFC Saucy Wings gives you the choice. A precisely calculated chicken to sauce ratio for that perfect wing experience. Or a totally wild, completely coated sauce adventure that transcends traditional flavor boundaries. Whatever your choice, get sauced with KFC Saucy Wings for the perfect amount of flavor. Saucy Wings at KFC Nassau. So good.
Across the Bahamas, we're more connected than ever before as we upgrade and expand our network, elevating your connection with BTC Superfast Fiber Internet. More people can access the best high-speed internet on our upgraded all-fiber optic network, providing you with a better experience working remotely, learning virtually, accessing more from home, and connecting with more opportunities. Visit our website or any store to upgrade to our Superfast Fiber Internet experience on the Bahamas' best fiber network.
Today is a day for fun. Today is a day for family. So why should yesterday's worries affect my today? That's why I insure my family with J.S. Johnson, because their mission is to provide us with the best insurance coverage possible. With J.S. Johnson, I know my family comes first, so I take comfort in knowing that they always have us covered, providing us with a great today and an even better tomorrow.
J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, giving you peace of mind.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home health care supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price. And you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
The government launched its free COVID-19 testing program in Inagua today to combat COVID-19 across the country. Inagua was selected as the launch site because of a recent outbreak of the virus after the election campaign, which sadly resulted in the deaths of several people. In line with its COVID action plan, the government also provided residents with medical-grade masks free of charge. A mobile team is in place on the ground to ensure all residents have access to the new program. One official said, "We have to go where they congregate." Residents expressed relief in being able to know their status, giving the program a thumbs up. Officials expect to test more than 100 residents today. Minister of Health and Wellness Dr. Michael Darville said back in July and August, the country was experiencing the worst spike in COVID cases and deaths so far seen in the country. Bahamians were also extremely anxious about the images of a healthcare system in a state of neglect and collapse. Free testing is a key component in the government's new approach, which will start to give a more accurate picture of the true state of the pandemic in the Bahamas, according to the minister. Well, Ackland's now counted among the communities with new COVID infections. The October 19th dashboard showing 4 such cases on that island, with another 4 on Grand Bahama. Here in the capital, that number is at 18, on Eleuthera 13, along with 1 each on Abaco, Inagua, Andros, and Cat Island, with the location of another pending. That's a total of 44 new cases, 30 females and 14 males. There's a decrease in hospitalizations. At last count, this was at 109, 15 of the sick in the intensive care unit. We could also tell you an additional 52 people have recovered from COVID-19. Tuesday also saw the completion of 349 RT-PCR tests. 6 of them repeats and 1 returning inconclusive results. Well, the Pan American Health Organization is calling the return to in-person learning for many countries in the region a rather tricky one. Their comments coming during the organization's weekly press briefing on the COVID-19 pandemic. Our Antoinette Smith is with the details.
For more than a year, laptops, tablets, and devices have slowly replaced the traditional desk, notebooks, and instruments associated with in-person learning, a direct fallout from the COVID-19 pandemic, which Minister of State for Education, the Honorable Zane Lightbourne, says could soon change. But regional health experts reason that this can come with serious risk.
School settings can be a potential source of COVID-19 infection that can spread in the community, and implementing non-pharmaceutical control measures in schools and universities can significantly impact population-level mortality.
That's why, according to officials of the Pan American Health Organization, community transmission must be controlled to protect COVID-19 spread in school settings. Referencing a United Kingdom study, PAHO Health Emergencies Director Dr. Cyril Garte says data has shown a strong link between community spread and cases seen in schools.
This is a very important context. So the schools are part of the community, and if the community is showing an increase in transmission, of course this will go to schools. However, the incidence that school drive transmissions in the community remains scarce.
While Cyril highlights the possible biological consequences of proceeding with such, he also notes the educational and social implications in the absence of face-to-face learning. A possible solution, this.
The vaccination coverage is not at the levels that we want. The using masks, physical distancing, disinfection of hands are the paramount measures that we must implement when we reopen universities and schools.
Anthony Smith, ZNS Network News.
Meantime, education officials continue to work closely with their colleagues over in the Ministry of Health to determine when public schools will reopen across the country. Minister of State for Education, the Honorable Zane Lightbourne, expressing every optimism that this can be done before year's end.
I know that the parents of those children are very concerned because face-to-face is our go-to. That is the way that we can capture all of the students that we know have been missing in the system for the last 2 years, year and a half. And so we want to really get this going as soon as possible, but we want it to be safe, safety first.
Well, to inform, educate, and entertain. That was ZNS's mandate back in 1977, and 44 years later, its primary goal is to push the envelope even further and remain a tour de force on the local television scene. In these days and times, reaching 44 years is quite a feat. For a television station, that's some real staying power, and ZNS stands as living testament. You see, for 4+ decades, it's been setting the pace, reason enough to celebrate. Bringing brief remarks at a cake-cutting ceremony at our studios Wednesday was State Minister, the Honorable Miles LaRoder, who has cabinet responsibility for the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas, or as he deemed it, an icon. He added, though, that ZNS is only as good as its employees.
And you should be proud of your accomplishment. All of those who would have passed through here, you stand on the shoulders of others, but yet you still carry on. And yes, we speak of those who have been before. Some have gone on to their earthly rewards or heavenly rewards, but we still have enough at ZNS to be a major player when it comes to broadcasting. And you know, opposition politics will always criticize, sometimes the government criticize. But the mere fact that ZNS is able to stimulate such conversation means that it's very relevant in these times. And I think that you should commend yourselves for the work that you do and to be encouraged.
The minister's sentiments shared by the corporation's general manager, Kaylisa DeVoe Isaacs, who stressed that while the corporation sometimes falls short of the standards set by those who went before, every day is an opportunity to live up to the legacy.
Every day we come to ZNS, we should make sure that we understand what our duty is, what it is that we must achieve, and when we fall short, we apologize and we dust ourselves off and we try again.
And while ZNS has had a core group of older viewers for decades, the general manager accepts that the corporation must find ways of attracting the young. In turn, she asked this of the new minister.
I'd like to say that we also need a friend in your office to make sure that some of the legacy that we can't seem to shake at times, that you can help us to get past some of those so that we can fulfill completely the mandate of this place and this institution. So we look forward to hearing from you and the new government some of the policies that you plan to enact so that we could make sure that we are doing those things.
Our Northern Service celebrates its 31st anniversary next month.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
With vaccinations increasing and travel restrictions lifting across the world, cruise lines are coming back in full swing to our shores. The Bahamas recently welcomed Virgin Voyages' Scarlet Lady, a new luxury cruise.
The Bahamas is excited about Virgin Voyages' most impressive itineraries that feature repeated one-day voyages to Nassau and Bimini, commencing October 2021 until May 2022. We are positioned with open arms to welcome Virgin Voyages' Scarlet Lady, an adult-only cruise ship, and its over 162,000 guests to our shores over the next 7 months. Your decision to add our destination to your itinerary will have significant impact on our economy as we move forward with tourism's recovery. The future of travel and tourism looks promising for Virgin Voyages and the Bahamas as global pent-up demand for travel continues to soar.
The ship will make weekly voyages to Bimini and Nassau over the next 7 months, beginning October 2021 through May 2022. For more information, visit Bahamas.com. I am Danielle Bodie, and this is Tourism Today.
How's your day going?
In a word, busy. 6 a.m. gym, 7 a.m. breakfast, 8 a.m. drop the kids to school, 9 to 3 back-to-back meetings with working lunch, of course, 4 p.m. pick up the kids, 4:15 dog groomer. Oh, but that reminds me, oh dear.
Is something wrong?
Yeah, I double booked my 6 p.m. charity committee versus helping out at the kids' ballet. Oh, it's a tough one. I promised the kids.
Which one are you going to reschedule?
Neither. Divide and conquer. My husband can handle his own on the dance floor.
It's a good thing your money's been just as busy.
RF, keeping your money busy with investment products and services that match your needs.
Health is the greatest gift. That's where we come in. Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies is a premier distributor of medical equipment, as well as medical and surgical consumables. Our engineers are always on hand, providing top care service that saves lives. We carry a wide selection of over-the-counter and prescription items, IV fluids, and other injections. Our products are state-of-the-art, and our entire team stays on top of cutting-edge technology. With more than 2 decades of dedicated service, Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies continues to be a trendsetter and innovator in healthcare. We have set ourselves apart by truly caring for our customers. We understand the intricacies of healthcare, and we produce spectacular results. We cherish our partnerships and nurture our friendships as we continue on our quest to help everyone maintain that wonderful gift of good health. Find us on 9th Fifth Terrace, Centerville, right in the heart of the medical service epicenter of Nassau, Bahamas.
Do you know that adherence is more than taking medications? It calls to you to stick to the medical regimen as prescribed by your healthcare provider. If you have been asked to have your labs drawn to assess your kidney and liver function, please keep your lab appointments, as these determine the effects medications are having on your body. Follow-up doctor's appointments are necessary, as this is the time when the doctor performs a physical examination and discusses any test results and any concerns or issues you may have with your course of treatment. Specialized services such as physical therapy, occupational therapy, and speech therapy are necessary, as they help to restore you back to normal health. Sticking to prescribed diet and exercise regimens can improve medication effectiveness and contributes to overall health and well-being. Make a commitment today to be adherent to your medication regimen and practice healthy living.
This message has been brought to you by the Bahamas AIDS Foundation with funding provided by PEPFAR, USAID Local Capacity Initiative Small Grant.
One of the things that the church must be aware of, that this is no time and season for us to get so deep and holy that we can't hail folk who hurting next to us. We can't hail the people in our neighborhood. We can't see how hungry they are. We can't get too deep, brothers and sisters, and so anointed that we forget that if someone hurt you, you gotta forgive them.
Sundays at 8:30 a.m. on ZNS TV 13.
When you want to save money on your tile supplies, who you gonna call? The Tile King. When you tile your house and you want to look good, who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Visit the new Tile King showroom, which is internationally recognized as the finest tile showroom in the Caribbean, located in the Builders Mall on Wolf Road.
The Tile King. Who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Tiles on everything.
Join up for life insurance. Secure the ones that you love. Join up with Family Guardian. We offer full protection. Join the family. Join the family. Family Guardian. Protect the ones you love. A brand that you can trust. Family Guardian.
The Governor General, a former Prime Minister, and the Deputy Prime Minister among those paying respects to former Senator and veteran trade unionist Keith Archer this morning as his body lies in state in the foyer of the Senate building. Archer died on Saturday, September 25th at the age of 76. Foreign Affairs Minister, the Honorable Fred Mitchell, says he leaves behind a lasting legacy.
This was a trade union leader. I mean, he was really powerful. And of course, I remember there was a huge strike against what was then called Batelco, which actually resulted in the security intelligence and the police apparatus having to go in with the riot squad and take people out physically from in and around the plant. So there's this iconic photograph, I think it's still in the newspaper, of him being carried out by police officers physically. And I said, boy, this is a really powerful fellow. And from that, he morphed into a national statesman, served in the Senate, and became a negotiator for labor on behalf of the government.
Former Prime Minister, the Right Honourable Hubert Ingraham, added that the iconic labor leader will be missed.
He was very reliable, looked after the interests of his members. He was a good friend of mine, and he made a good contribution to the Bahamas. He suffered in recent times because of ill health, and he's now at peace.
The Stapleton Neighborhood Crime Watch is on the move in its continued fight against crime. The close-knit community has been plagued with gas tank theft and other petty crimes. Group members recently hosted a crime patrol night in hopes of stopping thieves in their tracks. Here's board member Dexter Kakula with an update.
What we would have done in the past few days is we've had a night out whereby we've had our police liaisons assist us in our night out, whereby we have the patrol and we go through each street corners, and we've had the neighbors participate in this initiative as well, whereby they would honk their horns, flash their lights outside of their homes, and this is all of a collective involvement in the community to stop crime in its tracks.
President Laquelle Johnson says she is seriously concerned about a surveillance camera being vandalized in the area.
Several weeks ago, somebody consciously and deliberately went on a ladder about 14 feet high and took a black spray of paint and sprayed the lens of the camera. as an intimidation tactic to our efforts. But really all it did was really strengthen us. It really just gave us extra boost of energy and motivation to come back even more full force like the Hulk and just combat their efforts, because we're not going to stop. We're not going anywhere. And so we just want to let them know that we are going to continue in a positive vein to keep this community safe and together.
Well, as we head to the break, we'd like to thank all our viewers watching us live on our social media platforms. And just in case you missed the news, be sure to head there to catch up. Stay with us. There's more after the break.
Shell Unleaded improves your fuel economy, giving increased miles per gallon, allowing you to do more of what you really want. Special additives used in Shell Unleaded improve your engine's efficiency. So go further with Shell Unleaded. Venture out to beaches, Junkanoo, and festivals and bring home memories that will last a lifetime. Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
I love sunsets. Now that I'm retired, it's the simple things in life that are enjoyable. I couldn't say that a few years ago because I never thought of or planned for the inevitable, and I never considered the debt I would leave my family in.
BAF's final expense plan. Coverage up to $50,000 and it never decreases in value. Affordable monthly payments that never increase. Accidental death coverage and no medical exam or lab test required.
Now that I have BAF's final expense plan, I worry no more.
You are a healthcare worker. Thank you for fighting on the front lines against COVID-19. It is normal to feel stressed when taking care of others who don't feel well. But remember to take care of yourself. Don't forget to rest between shifts, eat healthy meals, engage in physical activity, and stay connected to family and friends. Avoid harmful coping strategies like drinking alcohol. For managers of healthcare workers, the same tips apply to you. Here's how you can help. Consistently give updates. Rotate staff between high and low stress level functions. Encourage work breaks and ensure that they know where they can find help. We are here for you.
The Saffir-Simpson hurricane wind scale was developed in 1971 by civil engineer Herbert Saffir and meteorologist Robert Simpson, who was the director of the U.S. National Hurricane Center. It was introduced to the public in 1973 and began to be widely used a year later, inspired by the Richter scale that measures earthquakes. The Saffir-Simpson scale was divided into 5 categories. Originally, the scale included predicted barometric pressures associated with the various wind speeds, as well as the relative kinds of damage that could be anticipated. However, because those predictions were found to be very inaccurate just a few years ago, the warning system was changed to include only the wind speeds, which were also adjusted upwards in the higher categories. A Category 1 hurricane has wind speeds between 74 and 95 miles per hour. A Category 2 hurricane has wind speeds between 96 and 110 miles per hour. A Cat 3, 111 to 129 miles per hour. A Cat 4, 130 to 156 miles per hour. And a Category 5 hurricane will have wind speeds from 157 miles per hour and up. This public service announcement has been brought to you by the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas in conjunction with the National Emergency Management Agency.
The past is what drives us, but it is no more. In it, we learn valuable lessons about where we came from. The future is what we aspire to. but it is yet to be written. Thinking about it allows us to plan for a better tomorrow. The present is the only thing we possess right now. It is the moment when we rise to the occasion, so that we stand in the beauty and wonder of who we are, where our strength really matters, because our resilience speaks for itself. We plan for where we are today, a strong company, a powerful network, built by the people, for the people, because we believed in best, because we lived for the moments, and we delivered. You know what we were, and now you get to see who we are. We are alive.
The Health and Wellness Minister today continuing his tour of Family Islands with troubling COVID cases, this time making a stop in Eleuthera, where he assessed clinics with the goal of improving conditions there. Noting the challenges, The Honourable Michael Darville says the health infrastructure in Eleuthera needs to be improved. Still, he thanked healthcare workers for their efforts. Speaking to the COVID cases, the minister expressed hope of getting a better idea of what's happening with the cluster there. Our Lloyd Allen is traveling with the team, and we will have more in a later newscast. A group of Cuban nationals handed over to local authorities this after being apprehended in Bahamian waters Tuesday afternoon. The HMBS Raleigh Gray was on routine patrol in the southern Bahamas when it intercepted a 21-foot sports fishing vessel approximately 14 miles east of Key Santo Domingo shortly after 2 p.m. On board were a group of Cubans who were subsequently removed and taken aboard the Defense Force vessel. They are to be handed over to the relevant authorities here in the capital. Meantime, the Cuban embassy has since been notified. It's time now for a check on Family Island weather with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Well, thank you, Makishla. Outside of our studios, we are under mostly cloudy skies. Temperature 84 degrees, the relative humidity at 65%. We have easterly winds at 16 miles per hour. The barometric pressure 1,019.4 millibars at 30.10 inches, and the pressure is falling. Temperatures around the outlets this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 82 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, Green, Tull, Key, and Marshall, Barbacoa. The Berry Islands at 83. Also, Alice Sound, Bimini, 83 degrees. 82 in Harbor Island, Rock Sound, Eleuthera, 85, Alderstown, Cat Island, 84 degrees, Black Point, Exuba, Kemp Space, South Andros, and Fresh Creek and Central Andros, all at 83 degrees. 84s in San Salvador and Rum Key, Georgetown, Exuma, 83 degrees, Ragged Island, Clarenstown, Long Island, Crooked Island, Betsy Bay, and Acklands at 85, Machitan, Inagua, 87, and the Turks and Caicos Islands, 85 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Ball, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Setter. In the northwestern islands tonight, northeast to east winds, speeds 12 to 18 knots, wave heights 3 to 6 feet. High tide will take place at 8:35, and we have a caution flag in place for your boaters. For the central Bahamas, northeast winds 15 to 20 knots, wave heights 4 to 7 feet, also with caution flags up. For the southeast Bahamas, a more easterly component at 12 to 18 knots, wave heights 3 to 6 feet, and caution flags. And as we take into Thursday, for all areas, the winds are going to be easterly at 15 to 20 knots with choppy seas 4 to 7 feet over the ocean. High tide on Thursday, 8:57 in the morning, low tide at 3:19 in the afternoon. Now, on Friday in the northwest and central islands, the winds start to back, becoming northeast to east at 12 to 18 knots, wave heights 3 to 6 feet. High tide will take place at 9:33 in the morning with the low tide at 3:58 in the afternoon. For the southeast Bahamas on Friday, southeasterly flow, winds 12 to 18 knots, wave heights 3 to 6 feet over the ocean. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. That's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned. The extended weather forecast is still ahead.
At BPL, we are champions of safety. We've developed a work culture that is committed to safety at all levels within our organization.
We're more than just co-workers. We're a family, and to safeguard ourselves from injury, we ensure that our junior employees receive on-the-job training from our veteran employees who are more familiar with our safety protocols.
At the completion of every assignment, our crews perform a routine inspection of our system. We then contact system control for the approval before restoring power to the affected areas. It's a shared responsibility for us. By following these simple but important safety protocols, we'll reach our goal of getting to zero. Zero on-the-job injuries and zero lost time accidents. That's why at BPL for us, it's think safe, work safe, home safe.
Hey, I just reached. I asked them now because they close in like 5 minutes. Okay, hold on. Oh, sorry. Hi. I heard y'all added more things to pay, like government fees or something.
Yes, sir. We're now accepting payments for Department of Immigration, Department of Labor, and the Royal Bahamas Police Force.
Okay, good. I come to pay a police record and a labor certificate.
Okay, no problem. What's the name?
Uncle Boogaloo.
What's the first name?
Uncle.
And the last?
Boogaloo. You in the system.
Are you paying by cash, sir?
Coins.
Pardon?
Oh, and you could put a couple of them coins on my BPL bill. They just cut me off last night. I don't know what happened. Hey, Uncle, you straight it. Yeah, don't forget my horse fish now.
Pay your government fees today at Cash and Go.
You watch them grow and make plans for them even before they're old enough to talk. You spend a lifetime of sacrifice to pave the way for their success and create a tomorrow you too can be proud of. Can you tell who is the investor? At Leno, we believe everyone who has ever put a penny aside for a future dream is an investor. If you're new to investing, Leno's financial experts stand ready to design plans based on your goals. Let's sit down and explore the options one-on-one and see how, together, we can make your dreams come true. Whether considering traditional investments like a new home, car, your own business, security in retirement, or your child's college fund, we take the confusion out of the process and make an investor out of you. Call 396-3225 for an appointment. Leno, your bridge to the future.
Happy 44th anniversary to the ZNS from BTC.
Happy anniversary, ZNS.
Happy 44th anniversary to ZNS from Fort Charles Diagnostic Center.
Happy 44th anniversary to ZNS. Happy 44th anniversary, ZNS.
Wishing ZNS 44 years anniversary from KFC, Mackey Street. Happy anniversary.
Happy 44th anniversary to ZNS.
Happy 44th anniversary to the #1 broadcasting company in the Bahamas. I'd like to wish you all the best. God bless you and God bless the Bahamas.
Hi, we'd like to wish ZNS a happy 44th anniversary from Super Value, top of the hill, Mackey Street, the #1 station in the Bahamas.
Happy 44th anniversary to the biggest and best broadcasting corporation in the world, Zephyr Nassau Sunshine, ZNS.
When a hurricane watch or warning is issued, medical emergency services are placed on high alert. For many persons seeking medical care, defining what an emergency is can be difficult to assess given all that is occurring during the storm. The following basic guidelines are designed to help you assess your emergency. If you are experiencing symptoms like shortness of breath, chest pain, severe pain, disorientation, extreme vomiting or diarrhea, vision disturbance, or suicidal thoughts, you should seek immediate medical assistance. If you are bleeding significantly or otherwise severely injured, seek emergency assistance immediately. Children presenting with symptoms like high fever and extremely listless or lethargic behavior need to be taken to the emergency room immediately. If you are unsure of the extent of your condition, you are advised to seek medical assistance immediately. Share your symptoms with the on-call doctor and get advice as to whether or not it can wait until normal business hours. Remember, emergency care is not a convenient option for basic medical care during a storm. The Public Hospitals Authority encourages members of the public to use these basic guidelines to help decide on whether something is an emergency or not. The authority reminds the public that in the case of an emergency, always call 911 or head immediately to the emergency room. This message is brought to you by the Public Hospitals Authority and the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
New year, new time. Watch Conversations with Christ every Sunday at 10 a.m. And I'll tell you why. Because God said 1,000 years is like a day for me. And that's why you could have a thief on the cross pray for just a few seconds and get forever, and get forgiveness, and get eternity. So every single Sunday for 30 minutes, we're going to praise God together. So every Sunday at 10 a.m., Conversations with Christ.
Best rate, no debate. Best rate, no debate.
BTC gives more savings on the best fiber internet. It's super fast with super savings in every package. Compare and see for yourself. Enjoy the best home internet experience for all your work, study, and entertainment.
Best rate, no debate. Best rate, no debate.
Visit a BTC store to sign up for the best internet experience on the Bahamas' best fiber network.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Welcome to sports. Well, after a nearly 2-year-long hiatus, it's finally back. The Don't Bling Home Run Derby is expected to take place this December. Organizers, baseball stars Todd Isaacs Jr. and Lucius Fox tell us more.
Our goal of the Home Run Derby was to always use this as a platform to highlight, our Bahamian baseball players, our Bahamian athletes, and just, show what the Bahamas consist of. Our natural beauty, the beaches. We have the best beaches in the world, and being a baseball player, we wanted to really bring the two elements together. The most exciting part of the game, the home run, and then the most beautiful part of what's being from the Bahamas, the beaches. So we decided to do something extremely crazy, set up a stage and hit balls into the water. Initially, before we even started our first event, the Rats from Rev, were on us because, everyone's environmental friendly. We were about to drop a press conference talking about hitting balls into the water. So immediately we had to find an answer how to do this. So, we retrieve every single baseball. We have people on jet skis with nets out there retrieving the baseball. So,
this is the Don't Blink Home Run Derby in Paradise, my people. It will be held on December 18th, Saturday. We thank you to Atlantis, for partnering with us. We were able to add 2 additional days to our festivities, our party week. And we're gonna title it Players in Paradise. So it's gonna be really cool. December 14th to the December 19th are the dates. We're excited for this. Players will arrive December 14th, settle in, and then that's a Tuesday. Wednesday, we will have our first golf tournament.
And for Vice President of Sales at the Atlantis Paradise Island Resort, Ted Adderley, says the resort can't be more happier to be on board.
We've been with them for 4 years. We're going to take a bigger role in it, but this is why we're doing it. If you listen to their energy, their commitment to the sport and what they're trying to accomplish and their own accomplishments, it's on them that make it much easier for us to partner with them. Then, of course, I'm not a baseball guy, but hitting a ball in an ocean, I went, who does that? And they're onto something. And another reason why the partnership made a lot of sense to us. Then, of course, I think it's probably now one of the largest growing Bahamian initiatives of sport. So with that, that's another reason why it makes a lot of sense for us to be a part of this.
And just like every year, there will be a good cause.
The reason why Jerome is up here with us is because they're working hand in hand through the Home Run Derby to help raise funds to start renovating fields in the communities, create multi-purpose facilities, baseball fields, softball fields, basketball courts. And this year we're starting off with the Pinewood Field. So we would do a groundbreaking for that. Yes, it's awesome. It's awesome. It's cool. This is something that Lucius and I always wanted to do. We always wanted to find ways to get back in the community and build fields. He could tell you we said we would do it. We don't know how we're going to do it, but it's starting to happen. It's literally starting to happen.
And that's been a look at sports, a check on weather when we return.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Shop for sweet savings at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Kellogg's assorted cereals, family size, $4.99. Rainbow evaporated milk, large, 2 for 99 cents. Campbell's vegetable soup, 10.5 ounce, 2 for $2.25. Red, green, or black seedless grapes, $2.99 per pound. Bone-in chicken breast, $1.79 per pound. Open Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. That's Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
When a hurricane watch or warning has been issued, it is extremely important to be prepared and know just what to do. Stay informed about the storm's path by listening to the radio or television for hurricane progress reports. Check emergency food and household supplies. Be sure you have extra batteries for flashlights and radios. Bring in outdoor items like lawn furniture and garden tools. Anchor objects that cannot be brought inside. Secure buildings by closing and boarding up windows. Remove outside antennas and satellite dishes. Turn refrigerators and freezers to the coldest settings, opening only when absolutely necessary and closing quickly. Purchase ice and store it in an ice chest. Keep drinking water in clean jugs and bottles. Clean your bathtub with bleach and fill it with water for washing and flushing, not for drinking, making sure to keep the bathroom door closed so that small children cannot access the filled tub. Do not go out to videotape or take photos of the storm. Take pictures from inside where it is safe and dry. There is no harm in being overly cautious where a hurricane is concerned. It is truly better to be safe than sorry. This public service announcement has been brought to you by the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas in conjunction with the National Emergency Management Agency.
We play just like your kids. We text just like your kids. We learn. We even cook. We take selfies. We have hobbies. And we love sports. In every way, we are just like everyone else and enjoy the same things and live our lives every day, just like you do. So if you happen to meet us, treat us just like everyone else. Because at the end of the day, we're just like you. Living life with Down syndrome is simply living. To learn more about Down syndrome, call 727-2105. This message is brought to you by the Grand Bahama Down Syndrome Society.
It is normal to feel overwhelmed, lonely, scared, or sad during a crisis. Coping can be difficult when your daily schedule is interrupted. Drinking may feel good, but is not the best way to cope with stress. It can worsen your mental and physical health and impact your family. So how can you cope? Keep physically active, like taking a walk or dancing. Cook and eat nutritious food, including fruits and vegetables. Engage in indoor activities like playing games and staying connected with family and friends. Meditate, encourage yourself, or enjoy music. Still feeling overwhelmed? We are here to listen. This message is brought to you by these partners.
Do you know that one of the main reasons for medication failure is due to non-adherence to medications? It is important that you follow these 4 R's when taking your medications. Right drug, right dose, right time, and right way. Right drug. Remember that each medication is specific for each individual, and what may work for one person may not work for the other. Therefore, you should not share your drugs. Right dose. Taking more or less than what is prescribed by your provider may cause you to either run out of your pills faster, it may affect your kidneys or liver, and it may even worsen your medical condition. Right time. Taking medications when told ensures that you have enough medication in your body to fight off the illness you may have. Skipping doses may lead to drug resistance. Right way. If your medication calls for you to take it whole, with food, or at night only, please follow these directions as there may be side effects. Make a commitment today to be adherent to your medication regimen and practice healthy living.
This message has been brought to you by the Bahamas AIDS Foundation with funding provided by PEPFAR, USAID Local Capacity Initiative Small Grant.
Happy 44th anniversary to the ZNS from BTC.
Happy anniversary, ZNS.
Happy 44th anniversary to ZNS from Fort Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Happy 44th anniversary to ZNS. Happy 44th anniversary, ZNS.
Wishing ZNS 44 years anniversary from KFC, Mackey Street. Happy anniversary. Happy 44th anniversary to ZNS.
Happy